look exactly like a queen?
Well, naturally, she is a queen.
Oh, you know what I mean. I don't guess you'd trade it for something, would you, Bob?
Are you kidding? That's the best stamp I have.
I don't see what you're bragging about, Bob. It just looks like an envelope with a stamp on it to me.
Me too.
Look, see this date? June 3rd, 1953. Well, that date with this stamp makes this envelope a first-day cover.
What's a first-day cover?
It's a letter mailed on the same day of whatever the stamp is celebrating.
Who ever heard of a stamp celebrating?
Oh, cut it out. You know what I mean.
Bob, sure you won't trade it for anything? I'll give you your choice of my records.
Not anything.
Keep your eyes on that envelope. It's going to disappear. We'll return to the story later, but I want you to meet some friends of mine who are here in the studio to watch Breakthrough with you. They're Debbie Gaunt, Barry Lyons, Barbara Washburn, and Tom Stotler. And I'm Gene Atkins. A little later, the five of us here will interrupt the story of the missing queen to talk about it. Then we'll go back and see the end. But for now, let's return to the classroom where Bob is giving a report on his stamp collection. Are you all set?
This section is for the United Kingdom. When I get some more pages, the coronation stamp will go right here. Yes, Kathy?
Where did you get her? I mean the queen stamp.
My uncle gave it to me. He was in England during the coronation, in the army.
Did your uncle actually see Queen Elizabeth?
I guess so.
Well, did he tell you what her crown was like, and her robes and everything?
I didn't bother to ask him about all that silly stuff. Well, anyway, these are called commemorative stamps. They put them out for all kinds of
If I were
special
going to a
occasions.
coronation, I wouldn't be worrying about an old stamp, would you?
I don't know. I'd sure like to have one of
Pass the
those.
album around so everyone can see it.
Be real careful, will you?
All right, now, before you leave, be sure you take this down. Page 34 in your...
Hey, watch what you're doing, huh?
I'm sorry.
Miss Miller! Miss Miller, the Queen's gone!
Why don't you look around under the desks? Maybe you dropped it. You didn't find it? Who had the stamp last?
They did.
I gave it to Linda. Faye had it first, and Kathy had it last.
The stamp was there when I gave it back to Bob.
Are you certain, Kathy?
Well, I think it was.
Well, it sure isn't here now.
All right, everyone be quiet, please. Now, the stamp is bound to be here somewhere. Is somebody playing a trick on Bob? All right, we'll just have to go over the whole room. Put your books on your desks. Well, I just don't understand it. Now, the envelope certainly didn't sprout wings and fly away.
It sure didn't. Okay, fork it over. I know one of you has it.
Bob, what a thing to say.
What would I do with it? I don't collect stamps.
Me either.
Yeah, but you acted like you wanted to. And my queen would make a real good start. If you aren't particular how you start.
Oh, come back down to the ground. You have your nerve, Bob Martin. I'll bet it's stuck somewhere in your album.
It is not. Say, you really wanted that stamp, didn't you?
Are you saying that I took it?
I'm just saying it might be a good idea if you found it, that's all.
sounds crazy. But last night, I opened my geography and it was just there. I don't know how on earth it got in my book.
I said you'd better find it, didn't I?
I didn't take it, Bob. Honest, I didn't.
Then how did it get into your book?
Somebody must have put it there.
Yeah, Kathy. Somebody must have. I knew you wanted this stamp, but I didn't know you wanted it that bad.
But I didn't steal it. I wouldn't steal anything. Why would I bring it back if I'd taken it?
I guess you were just scared, Kathy.
I was not. I might have known you'd blame me. Oh, I should have just thrown it away. I wouldn't have brought it back if I'd known you'd be so mean.
Kathy, Bob, what's the trouble here?
Kathy found my stamp.
It was in my book, Miss Miller, and now Bob says I stole it.
Well, I'd like to know how else it could get there.
Now, wait a minute, both of you. Kathy, this isn't some kind of joke that backfired, is it?
Joke? There's nothing funny about losing your best stamp.
Well, there's nothing funny about being accused of taking one either.
She really wanted that stamp, Miss Miller. She tried her best to trade me a record for it.
Well, Bob, you have your stamp back. Don't you think the best thing is just to forget all about it?
Forget it? I'm lucky she didn't take the whole album.
Now, Bob, that's enough of that talk.
It would serve you right if I just kept your old first day cover.
Kathy, that will do.
But it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
It's not fair to me.
Now, stop it, both of you. Kathy, I know it took a lot of courage for you to give Bob back his stamp.
You don't believe me either.
Kathy, we'll discuss this later. Will you stay after school with me for a few minutes, hmm? Good morning, class. This morning, Faye will lead us in the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
But, Miss Miller, I keep telling you I didn't take Bob's stamp.
Kathy, that isn't what I'm talking about now.
The whole class has been whispering behind my back and staring at me every time I move.
Kathy, please. I know how you feel. You think you're ruined for life.
Well, I am. I'll never get over it. Never.
Oh, Kathy. Everyone makes mistakes. This isn't a trial. We're all going to live through it.
When you were studying about trials, you said a person was innocent until proven guilty. It isn't true. Everybody thinks I'm guilty, and no one's proved a thing.
Kathy, I wish you weren't so upset.
How would you feel?
Kathy, can't you understand? I'm just trying to help you.
I don't want you to help me. All I want is for you to believe me. Larry, are you busy?
No, come right in. Hi, sis. You through studying?
Can't study. Can't even think. I wish I never had to go back to school again in my whole life.
And don't let that stamp business throw you. It'll all blow over in a couple of days.
I might be dead by then.
Now, that's a silly thing to say.
It isn't silly. It's the way I feel. What am I going to do, Larry?
I don't know. Just ride it out, I guess.
Ride it out with everybody thinking I stole something?
Well, not quite everybody. And there must be several million people who haven't even heard about it yet.
It's nothing to laugh about.
Well, at least Mom and Dad and I know you didn't take it.
That's because you're my family. The kids at school think I'm a common criminal. Even Miss Miller thinks I'm guilty.
Case of the missing queen, eh? Well, I think you've been framed, kid.
But why would anybody do that? I wouldn't. Not even if I hated somebody.
Well, you know, people are hard to figure sometimes. Since you don't know who did it, well...
But I think I do know.
Well, why didn't you say so before?
Because I'm not sure. Not absolutely sure. See, I was standing with Linda and Faye. We had the album last. And nobody else was close enough to put it in my book. Larry, it had to be one of them.
But I thought they were both good friends of yours.
I thought they were too. Linda's been my very best friend.
Well, look, Kathy, no real friend would ever give you a raw deal like this. Now, whichever one it is, she certainly doesn't deserve any protection from you.
I know. But if I tell, everybody will say I'm a tattler, an old stool pigeon.
Is that any worse than being called a thief? The only thing is, Kathy, don't make a mistake. Because that'll put you in a worse spot than you are already.
Well, I'm not going to just sit and take it.
You sure it was either Linda or Faye?
Positive.
But you don't know which one.
Not exactly.
Look, try to think. You saw the first day cover when Faye had the album, right?
Yes, because she was talking about the Queen's jewels.
And that's the last you saw of it.
I think so. No, but I looked up at the assignment on the blackboard and... Wait a minute! When Miss Miller started searching the desks, my books got knocked off my desk.
So what?
So that's when the Queen was putting my book. It must have been her.
Yeah, but which her?
Hate to tell on her. But then she certainly didn't care about how I'd feel, did she? I think I'm going to tell Miss Miller first thing in the morning.
Just hold on a minute. You know, accusing somebody of stealing is pretty serious.
Don't you think I know exactly how serious it is?
And you know just what you'd be doing if you were wrong, don't you?
Do you think Kathy will tell or won't tell?
I think she will tell.
Why?
Well, I wouldn't keep it a secret. I mean, it wouldn't look too good on a record. I think she will tell. Get even with her friend. Well, her girlfriend probably will have a guilty conscience for planning it there, and then she'll probably just go up and apologize, and they'll be friends again.
Well, why do you say it's Linda? You know, she had two real friends.
No, I believe it could be Faye, because, well, I guess, well, I said Linda, well, it just seems most likely that, she wouldn't suspect Linda because, Linda is her best friend, and she could just float the blame over to the other person.
Have you ever been accused of something you didn't do?
Well, my mom calls me a little pack rat because, I'm always carrying stuff into my room and I forget to put it back. And so whenever something's missing, they come up there in the middle of the night and they rummage all through my room and everything else. And then the next morning they find it someplace else.
How do you feel about them accusing you?
Well, they do. Well, Mommy, I didn't take it. And she says, well, we better look in your room anyway. You know how you stole away stuff. And so, well, sometimes, you know, I accuse because my brother always has this guilty look. I can tell when he looks guilty. Like, one time, he had this friend, he and his friend were making this, playing with matches, which isn't too good. So he walks out with this look on his face, and his shirt was tucked in the most awkward way. All the rest was out, but just this front part was stuck right in. I said, "What's wrong with you?" And he says, "Nothing," you know, in a guilty way. So I pull up his shirt, and out pops 2 packs of matches.
Did you accuse him?
I thought that he was guilty of something, and that look on his face, you know.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. He had a...
He did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, then, supposing that you had just accused someone of taking a valued possession of your own, and what would you do then if you found out that you were wrong?
Well, I'd probably feel about an inch and a half tall. I'd be awfully embarrassed, and the only thing I probably could do is, apologize and maybe treat him or something.
Is apologizing or buying them off all what you can do? I mean, treating them, you know, is kind of like buying them off.
Mm. so. That's all I can think of. You could pray to God for them to forgive you.
That's a very good possibility. What else?
Well, I'd probably tell the teacher and see if the teacher could think of some way so it wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, but whoever it was would know never to do that again. In the story, I wouldn't, even if I wanted that stamp so much and it was passed around for me right in front of my eyes and I could have just slipped into my book or something, I wouldn't have had the guts to take it. Because, they'd probably be looking for it if I ever got caught. I know I'd be in an awful lot of trouble. So, but I still, even if I did do it, I wouldn't slip it under the, well, I might.
There was another bit of advice that Kathy's brother was giving her. He said, you might just write it out.
Well, I don't think that's good because then the person that really did take it might go on and do something that being a real crook. Or she might think, well, I've done it once, why can't I do it again?
In other words, if you saw someone take it, you'd report them?
Well, yeah, I would.
You would?
I would.
Well, I think eventually the person that took it would have a guilty conscience, and then she would probably feel so guilty about taking it that she would tell Kathy that she did take it and that she wanted to put all the blame on her. I think she'll tell the teacher.
Then, well, I don't like that so good because then Kathy would feel a little bit guilty and then she'd want to say, don't do that. It's okay.
Well, I think that Kathy's just so up in the air about having herself accused of stealing it that she won't listen to anybody, and even though the teacher does believe that she didn't take the stamp, she's just so mad and everything that the boy accused her of taking it that she just won't listen to anybody.
Have you ever been that way?
Yeah. Oh, I've been that way. My mother, she accuses me of things. I talk to my brother, and when he lost something, he just, shut up and starts crying. And my mother says, just because you did that, you stay in your room, and I stand there wide open. What I do? And then I get real mad, and I don't talk to her. I don't eat lunch or anything.
You don't look like you've missed lunch too many times. You say Kathy was up in the air and wouldn't listen. What could she do?
Calm down. No, she doesn't. Well, I think it's kind of, the way she talks back to the teacher, I wouldn't never do that because I'd be kind of a mess. But if the teacher was trying to help me, I think I'd understand more than she did. I think I might listen a little bit, but I'd still be excited, because of being accused of something I didn't do.
Barry, you said that you thought that Kathy ought to listen to her teacher, but at your own home, when your mother corrects you, you said sometimes you walk to your room and pout and you won't listen. What do you really mean?
Well, after a while I cooled down, but right after she scolds me or something, I'm really hot. I get real mad and I slam the door.
Do you think that Miss Miller really thinks that Kathy has taken the stand?
Well, now that you mention that, I forgot all about it. I think Mrs. Miller is thinking that it is Kathy who is the guilty one.
Can you put yourself in Kathy's place? What do you do when all the adults you know accuse you of something you know you didn't do?
Then I give up.
You give up. Well, supposing you didn't want to give up.
Well, if there was something real important, real important, I'd go to an attorney.
You go to an attorney. What would you do?
Try to prove to them and myself that I didn't do it.
How do you go about that?
Well, I try to, the person that did do it, try to get them to confess to everybody that they did it and that I didn't do it.
Well, sometimes my mother starts accusing me of something I know I didn't do. And then she keeps on talking, I say, I didn't do it. She keeps on insisting I did do it. And I say, and I just go, I give up. And I go up to my room. And, well, and then after a while she comes up and says, are you sure you didn't do it?
Well, Kathy and Bob were good friends before this all happened, we assume. What do you think they are now? Are they still friends, or will they be, or?
Well, maybe they will be, but they're not right now.
How could they become friends again?
Apologize to each other. For one thing, if Kathy put herself in Bob's place and tried to understand how it felt to Bob, because it was his best stamp and it had been lost or stolen, well, I wouldn't, I'd probably accuse somebody, probably the last person, or I'd have my feelings against them.
Kathy's brother said you might as well be a tattler as a thief. What do you think was his comparison?
It's not good to be either one of them, but in this case, I guess you have to be either one of them. I'd like to be a tattler anytime than a thief. Well, everyone thinks she's a thief, so, and the only way to prove that she isn't is to be a tattler. And then it's kind of a predicament.
Does she have enough evidence to tell her best friend?
Well, she doesn't have really any exact proof, because all she knows is that one of them could have, she doesn't even know which one did it, and all she knows is that one of them could have done it when she was looking up at the blackboard on the assignment.
You know, this is a pretty serious matter, because a person's been called a thief and is thought of as a thief. And if you knew that they really weren't because you were the thief, or the guilty party, what could you do?
Well, I couldn't sleep at night. They could go over to Kathy's house and tell her that they had taken it and they were sorry, and then she could tell Bob that someone else had done it.
But Kathy's been accused publicly, and publicly embarrassed, and to try to fix it up privately. Was that doing enough?
No. Because in the public will still think she's
Thief.
Well, Bob was wrong in the first to accuse her without having any reason to accuse her.
Oh, what would you do if you were in his position? You accused her, and here you were wrong.
Your father's a real good friend and real loyal and, things like that. I'd tell everybody that I had done it and that Kathy didn't do it.
You shoulder the blame.
Mm-hmm. If I was being accused until I proved it to myself, I'd feel myself that I was guilty until I proved it to myself.
Anything else you can do?
You could pray to God for help.
Why pray to God for help?
Well, I can't think of anybody else you could pray to.
All right, it's time for us to get back to school where Kathy is waiting. Let's go.
Kathy, I'm real sorry about all this. You know I didn't take the stand, don't you, Linda? Linda, I know who did. You do? Then why haven't you told Miss Miller? I was going to, and I changed my mind. Why? Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but... Linda, this has been the most horrible thing that ever happened to me. I just couldn't do it to somebody else, especially somebody I liked, when I wasn't positive. I told Miss Miller last night. You told Miss Miller? She's going to clean you today. But how did you know? I didn't really want to get you into trouble. I don't even know why it happened. Miss Miller said nobody had to know who it was. But if I don't tell Bob, he'll never believe it wasn't you. Bob, I really didn't want you clean. I just picked it up to look. And somehow Just kept it.
But I don't understand.
I wasn't stealing it. I just wasn't thinking I wanted to give it back.
I thought it was Faye. I almost told Miss Miller it was Faye.
All I wanted to do was to get rid of it. Do you understand, Kathy? I didn't even know whose book it was.
Where do you think you are going? Well, it's almost time for school.
That's just fine for you, isn't it? You accuse me of stealing something and practically ruin my life, and now you're just going to walk off like nothing happened.
Well, I guess I did make a mistake, but there's nothing I can do about it now, is there?
I guess you just wouldn't know, would you? Well, there's one thing you can do. Next time you can be sure before you accuse anybody. Kathy, I don't know what to say. Kathy, will we be best friends anymore? I don't know yet, Linda. I don't know.
It's easy to make a mistake, isn't it? How do we deal with injustice? Well, I want to say so long, and thanks to Debbie, Barry, Barbara, and Tom for being with us this week. And I'll be seeing you again next week on Breakthrough.